Hey everybody, Mike G here with East Coast Weather Authority. It's about 10:43 p.m. here on the 26th, getting ready to be the 27th. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and a relaxing one. If not, I feel your pain, and hopefully there was some Tylenol laying around somewhere close. Okay, anyway, so we're going to start to get into the end of the month here, and what was supposed to be a huge storm in the east here on the 29th and the 30th. There it is right there. And it just brushes the coast of South Carolina, North Carolina with some wintry mix and some little bit of ice here. And there's another clipper system moving across the northeast, bringing dustings and really light accumulations to the mountains, and then maybe some flurries for Philly and South Jersey, left over New York City. And this system is pretty much history here on the 30th, and it's kind of like the hopes and dreams are crushed because it was supposed to be a big snowstorm up and through here. But now here it goes right here. Here's the center of low pressure, and it's gone. It's just going to say see ya. So that's what we're going to be looking at for what could have been this weekend. And now we're going to start looking into more of an active pattern in the New Year's Eve and the New Year's Day. This is an interesting system right here, as it has a boundary zone of some wintry mix and even some ice and some freezing rain mixed in with all rain to the south across New Orleans and the deep south. Lots of snow across Tennessee and maybe even western North Carolina as we head into New Year's Day. It could be a white New Year's Day for a lot of folks in through here, but this is a concern is the ice right here across the eastern Carolinas once again, especially if this damming situation sets up. If there's some kind of a high up here, it'll bring a whole bunch of cold air down here into the hills and the mountains, and it can change all this into freezing rain and ice, and even down in through here as well. So that's something to keep in mind as we go into New Year's Day. That system lingers around for a while, and it could change over to snow on the backside of it because it's going to be colder, as the colder air will be coming down from the jet stream into Canada. So whatever was left over will be converted over to snow by January 2nd, and we could have some of it down on the ground all the way in here in the south. I think it's really, really cold after this. This is really, really cold Arctic air. I can show you what we're talking about as far as the temperature anomalies. Look at this blast here just after New Year's. This is frigid. I'm sure that some of these temperatures are just crazy. We can actually check out the temperatures on the low going into January 3rd, single digits all the way down into Charlotte, and even probably going to spill into Atlanta in this area here. I don't think all the lows right here are going to be limited right here. I think they're going to go a little bit more further south. So they would probably spill into Atlanta as to single digits, 10, 9, 8, 9, 10 degrees maybe here. This is absolutely crazy. 1 degree for the low on Wednesday, January 3rd. This is just freezing Arctic frigid air. Look at all this up here. It's the minus 20s. This is Fahrenheit. This is like the North Pole is being shifted down to the Hudson Bay, and we're getting all of this Arctic air, especially continued into the 5th and so, and even beyond. This is going to be very good setups for any type of winter storms, especially if something were to happen around the end of the first week of January, especially with some surging temperatures over top of this really cold air that's going to be shallow in place. We could get some ice storms. We could get some more snowstorms through the beginning of January. There's no question it's going to be colder than usual, and it's going to remain really, really active. Let's switch over to the 2 meter temperature anomalies, and we're going to shift gears here to the GEFS. Yes, I did see that above normal temperature segment there, but look at this Arctic blast that comes through around just going in New Year's Day. This is absolutely incredible. This is just makes me think that the hairs on my arm are going to freeze solid like icicles. This is extremely, really obnoxiously cold from the 1st of January into the 4th, even the 6th, 7th, 8th. And it's not going to warm up anytime soon there. And this is the ensembles. So this is a little more accurate model than just a regular GFS. This is the GEFS. We can even take a look out into the future as we are going to expect some active storm track patterns into the eastern part of the United States. So by doing that, we can look at some of the 500 millibar heights, and there is some growing concern for some more winter storms here. This is a stormy pattern on January 3rd, the New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and the New Year's Day. There's a New Year's Eve storm, and it looks like it kind of gets squashed to the north, so it might just be a a more of a Virginia North event on the 31st into the 1st, and then really, really cold air the 1st and the 2nd. That's what this is, but it's also a favorable pattern for some cold and snow. All we need is some kind of a disturbance coming down this way, and it meets up with a disturbance right here or somewhere, and there's the storm that forms off the coast, and that's what's going to give us snow if we are going to see it anytime in the next 2 weeks or so into the end of January. And it looks like it does moderate a little bit into the 10th and 11th or so of January, and there could be a little bit of ridging going on or some flattening out of the height contours in the jet stream, so that could bring more of a zonal flow, and it could warm up from the 10th and the 11th or so, or this could totally flip, and then it's just going to remain cold like it was since New Year's, and it cannot handle the extended cold. If we go over to the Canadian model at this hour run, it also has the a little bit of the warm-up here after the 7th or so. But up until the 7th, the first week up until then, we're looking at some really obnoxiously cold temperatures, and probably going to be that way through the middle of January at least. I'm not thinking that any of these warm-ups toward the end of these runs are going to verify, because it can't handle the degree of cold from the short range and carry it into the long range. But it is an active pattern for some storminess and for more snow and ice as well as cold through the beginning and the middle of January. This is Mike G here for East Coast Weather Authority. I want to thank you a lot for watching this segment of our extended range outlook.